What's up, beautiful, good-looking Huddle-like people? Rawlin out of here. So I got a quick story for you. I know we've been abandoning all the jokes, so I took it upon myself to give you a laugh this morning. Tried this last couple of weeks ago, and my internet connection was messed up. So I'm going to share it with you real quick. So stick with me. So this happened to me a couple of weeks ago. I took my grandmother to the grocery store. So we were at the grocery store, but it was super early because it was a small town grocery store. And she likes to go to the Senior Citizens Day because it's like 15% off or something like that. And it's crazy when you go to this little grocery store. So you pull up early. It's like 6 a.m., cracking dawn. You pull up and there's like this long line of like elderly people. They're all in line, ready to like get the deals, right? Because it ends at 8 o'clock and they don't open till like 6:30. So they're all in line, like getting ready to go. They're ready. And then all of a sudden I was sitting there. So she went to stand in line and I was standing there. I had to do some work. So I was typing on my phone and all of a sudden I looked up and there's this small little young guy. He starts walking. He starts making his way through the elderly crowd. And he goes all the way up to the door. And I'm like, man, he's trying to cut in line in front of all these older people. And it wasn't long. As soon as I had that thought, there was this old man, and he took his cane and he just whacked this guy. Just started whacking his legs, and the guy like run off. I'm like, well, serves him right. He shouldn't go cutting in front of all these people. Well, one long later, till the guy comes back, and I'm like, this guy's crazy. And all of a sudden, these older ladies just get their purses and they just start whacking him, and they keep on whacking him. They chase him down again. He comes back a third time. I'm like, this guy's crazy. I wish I'd have recorded it so I could share it with y'all. Anyway, and then I rolled down my window to kind of listen. And he got up there again. He said, listen, y'all, if y'all don't let me unlock this door, y'all ain't never getting in the shop.
Oh, did not see that coming.
That was a pretty good one. Was that not pretty good?
Yeah.
Good morning, Daily Huddle. Good morning, Facebook. Good morning to each and every one of you that has made the decision and the commitment to join us here this morning. My name is Vince Rountree. I am the co-host along with my business partner and friend, Mr. Rawlin Vanatta, and we together are the co-host of the Health, Wellness, and Vitality Show, and it gives us tremendous pleasure to serve you each and every Tuesday morning here on the Daily Huddle. Today, you guys are really in for a treat. We normally take this time to share with you some nugget of information around health, something around vitality, something around living longer, living without chronic disease, reversing chronic disease. And that is where we spend every morning. But today is different. You see, everything that we do is all based around educating you on why plant-based nutrition is by far the healthiest way to live. But here's the thing that makes it all work. You're not going to eat food that doesn't taste good. You're not going to do it. So today is going to be my partner's going to share with you some secrets around making the food that can prolong your life, making the food that can reverse diabetes, that can reverse heart disease, that can prevent stroke, that can improve your immune system, that can improve your brain function, that can eliminate pain. All of the beauties that come along with eating this way. It's not going to help you if your food doesn't taste good. I am blessed to have a business partner that has run plant-based restaurants, plant-based chef. My partner, Rawlin Vanatta, is going to share with you some secrets on how to have amazing food that gives you all of these health benefits as well. So that's what you get today by tuning into the Daily Huddle. But before we get there, I have a few questions, and my first question goes to the lovely Cece. I'm not sure if Cece can come off mute and just tell me, how are you today, dear? How are you?
I am wonderful. Thank you so much for asking.
All right. You are wonderful because you say you are wonderful, and you are wonderful. We are so glad to hear that today. And my next question goes to the one and only Mr. Robin Stern. Mr. Robin Stern, what time is it, my friend? What time is it?
You know, based on this fancy digital watch I have here that not only tells my heartbeat and tells me how long I sleep and how many steps I've taken, but it really tells me that the time is right now. The only time we can have anything to do with is right now, Vince.
The only time that matters is the now. And I really want to know from Ms. Tara Heaton, what are you proud of today?
Well, I am proud that thanks to, and this is not shameless. It is just honesty. When I'm around you and Rawlin, I am inspired to share the transformation that's going on in my home. So I am proud that my husband and I are again enjoying our time together in the kitchen, thanks to you guys and Food Fix University. So that would be it.
So cool. Thank you so much. So good.
Thank you. Thank you. We are, is Mike back from Germany or not yet?
We're back. He'll be on tonight. I probably won't make it. Depends on my flight. So yeah, we're back.
Okay. Okay, good. Well, welcome back. Welcome back. Hope you guys had a wonderful time.
Thank you.
Okay. So I kind of got things started a little bit and gave you a peek into the importance of food tasting good. And, you know, I have been on this journey since 2011. It was 2011 when I was diagnosed with high cholesterol, and I just, for some reason that I can't even explain, Rawlin has asked me a couple times, why did you not just take the doctor's prescription for the cholesterol meds? Why didn't you do it? And I honestly don't know. It was something deep within me that made me feel like I could probably eat differently and not need the pills. I don't know why I felt that. And I started looking, and I found Dr. Esselstyn, and went plant-based in 2011. Cholesterol dropped like a rock. And I have been on this journey of sharing this powerful knowledge with as many people as possible, because our healthcare system, for the most part, does not recognize the cause of these chronic diseases. And I've taken it on as my mission. And for the last 2 years, I have been blessed to have been partnered with a guy that is an expert at making food taste amazing. And that's, for in my business, that was a kind of a missing link. I mean, I kind of faked it through, you know, but I didn't have the knowledge and the experience in order to help people to say, listen, what are some of the best ways that you can cook and just make the food last for a few days? What's the best? And I didn't have answers to that. What are some of the healthiest ways to make and delicious ways to make potatoes? I didn't have the answers to that. And what you're going to hear this morning, I don't know what direction he's going to take you in, because I have watched him present a art and a science that he created called food hacking. What is food hacking? Food hacking is, you know, there are meat-based dishes that you grew up with, and how do you take those meat-based dishes, take the meat out, take the cheese out, make it plant-based, and have the same texture and color and the feel and the flavor of having those things, but it's not there. It's not there. And so I have watched Rawlin present food hacking to our clients, and I just watched them at the edge of their chair, just firing questions. What about this? And what about that? And he figured out a way to make ranch dressing, which is made with dairy, without dairy, and it tastes like ranch dressing. He figured out a way to take the Olive Garden's creamy Italian dressing. How do you take the creamy Italian dressing and make it without cream, without dairy, without oil, and taste like it? I don't know. Now, I set this up. He can't answer all those questions in the next 10 minutes, but he's going to share some magic with you. Take it over, my friend.
All right, cool. So I'm gonna real quick. We're gonna go through this so fast. Number one, anybody ever have cravings in their life? Wave at me if you've had cravings. If you've ever had a craving, have you ever known that you shouldn't eat a thing, and then you turn around and you find yourself eating it? While you're eating it, you're saying to yourself, I shouldn't be eating this thing. And yet you still are eating that thing. Anybody, wave at me if that's ever happened to you. On Facebook, type and say, that's me, that's me. Just type that in the comments. Okay, so what I'm going to do for y'all today is I'm gonna break y'all free, if that's okay. If y'all don't mind, would y'all be okay if I just broke you free from that? If you just like, oh, well, that's cool. Now I understand. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of do some backstory of the reason why food hacking is so necessary in the first place. Because really, it doesn't matter if you know how to do it if you don't know why it's so important in the first place. And so here's the interesting thing. Here's the question: what makes us crave? Like, why do we crave this, that, or the other thing? What's the deal? Why are we craving in the first place? Okay, well, it's really simple. To keep us alive. Our body craves to keep us alive. Because guess what? You need certain things in your body. You need fuel in your body. And if you don't get fuel in your body, you die, right? We're creatures that has to have sustenance. So here's the question. So we talk a little bit about in our 5-day challenge about stretch receptors, but that's not what I'm going to talk about today. What stretch receptors are is, you know, that feeling when you eat a whole bunch of food and you start actually feeling like your stomach is starting to stretch a little bit and you're like, oh, I don't think I can eat another bite. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Wave at me if you've ever felt that feeling. That's a stretch receptor. Now, typically, when you start feeling like that, you're like, oh, I think I'm about done. I think I'm about done. But sometimes you can feel like that. But have you ever felt that stretched feeling? You've eaten a lot, but then you still find yourself walking over to the refrigerator, opening it up, and just thinking, what can I eat? I want something, but I don't know what it is. Anybody ever had that happen to them? Anybody ever had that? Like, I don't know what it is. I just want something. I'm full. I've eaten so much, but I still want something. Now, what those are nutrient receptors. Now, here's the interesting thing about nutrient receptors. If you have all these different types of nutrients, we have all these vitamins, all these minerals, all these phytonutrients, a lot of things we don't even have names for, that our body needs to survive, period. Needs it for energy, needs it to not have brain fog, needs it for good digestion, needs it for good energy, all those things, okay? Where are those nutrients found? And this is where we get, and this is kind of the tip of food hacking, okay? Well, where does those nutrients come from? Well, they come packed inside 3 things: salt, sugar, fat. Salt, sugar, fat. That's where they come from. A bunch of minerals are in salt. A bunch of phytonutrients and vitamins are in natural sugars. And the special omegas and different healthy fats that we need are in fats. Now, here's the interesting thing about that. Salt is relatively rare in nature. Okay? Okay. So salt is rare. Okay? So in nature, salt is what? Say it with me. Rare. That's right. Okay. So sugar. Okay. We need a lot of sugar. So that's salt for a second. Then we have sugar. Okay. Well, let's think about sugar. Well, sugar is the body's preferred, get this, Vince is eating some sugar right now. He's eating cantaloupe, okay? He's eating sugar, okay? He's eating carbohydrates, okay? He's also eating proteins and fats, but he's primarily eating carbohydrates, sugars, and all those vitamins, minerals. And guess what? The body's preferred fuel source is sugar. Now, let me ask y'all a question. How much sense does it make to try to go on a diet or go on an eating plan that doesn't have any sugar in it, or just tries to eliminate all the sugar, right? How does that make sense if it's the body's preferred mechanism and it's where most of the vital and essential vitamins and minerals that you need, that your body needs? How does it make a lot of sense? So let me tell you something right now. If you're looking at a diet, if you're on an eating plan and you hear these words, avoid all sugar, then you're also hearing this. Avoid your body's primary choice of fuel. Doesn't make much sense, does it? All right. Now, fat. Guess what? Fat in nature is rare. Say it with me. 1, 2, 3. Rare. All right. Fat is rare. So salt is rare. Fat is rare. And sugar's needed like mad for your brain, for your muscles, for your body movement. Everybody move their arms. Wave your arms at me. Wave your arms. Guess what? Y'all are burning glycogen right now. Guess where glycogen comes from? Sugar. All right? Anybody ever have eaten and then all of a sudden throughout the day you start feeling a little drained and you start craving some sugar? You ever start craving sugar when you start feeling drained? Guess why? Because that's your fuel. Now think about this. And everybody's, oh, I don't want any sugar. No, sugar. Now here's the deal. Here's the reason why. This is so crazy. Okay. Well, let's not get to that yet. Okay. So remember, salt is rare. Fat is rare. Sugar is needed. Okay. Now, how does the body and the brain force you to find salt, sugar, and fat? It does it through a neurotransmitter called dopamine. Dopamine is the reward center of the brain. Okay. Now, here's the interesting thing. Our brains are addicted to dopamine. Tara could tell you all about this, but everything in our life, don't think about dopamine as necessarily being don't think about dopamine as being necessarily the final goal, but it's really kind of the leash that keeps us moving forward. Okay. So think about this for a second. Y'all ever heard the, proverbial carrot on a stick? You want a horse or a donkey to walk in a straight line, you dangle a string with a carrot on the front and you put it out in front of it. And so as it walks, it's walking towards the carrot, but because it's stuck on the stick ahead of it, it never gets to the carrot. Okay. So think about this. What dopamine's job is to do is to help you find what you need in life, whether it be socially, but here's the deal. Our system and our society with our phones and our technologies and the food industry has hijacked that system without your knowledge. You don't even know what's happening. Okay. And it shortened our dopamine response so that we need it like this. Boom, 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 boom. Now, there's a big thing on how this is happening in technology that the Daily Huddle is putting on here real soon. But let's talk about how that it relates to food. How has the food industry taking advantage of this? By the way, who likes to be manipulated? It kind of makes you mad when you find out you've been a little manipulated, doesn't it? Raise your hand if someone knows something, they take advantage of you, and you don't even know that they're taking advantage of you, and you find out about it, kind of makes you mad. Wave at me if that ever happened to you. Okay, y'all gonna get mad right now. Y'all ready to get mad? All right. So the food industry has taken advantage of your dopamine. How does it do that? Well, guess what? It knows that you need salt, sugar, and fat. It also knows that you need it to be in large enough quantities to activate your stretch receptors, or else you're not satisfied. It also knows that you need it. You need enough nutrition, enough nutrients, phytonutrients. enough vitamins, enough minerals. It knows that you need enough before those dopamine receptors will get cut off, before those nutrient receptors will get cut off. Well, guess what? They then create products. Now get this. Remember how I said that fat was rare? Y'all remember that? Y'all remember? Y'all said it, right? Fat is rare. So if fat is rare, think about this. If fat is rare, then the body craves it. When it finds it, the dopamine center says, remember this, eat as much as you can. So you get a big dose of dopamine. And so then you get another one. Then you get another one. You get another one. And it says, eat all you can. You know why? Because you're never going to find it again. But you will. Why? Because it's in every single packaged product that exists. Why is it in every packaged product that exists? In order to trigger dopamine on you. But guess what? All the minerals, vitamins, and vital nutrients that you need that would normally cut off those receptors are taken out of the product. What? Yeah. You know what a candy bar is? A candy bar is really high sugar, really high fat, and really high salt, all at the same time, but they got all the vitamins, minerals gone. So they turn up the things that causes your addiction with dopamine, and they remove the only thing that will satisfy those cravings biologically. Because that's not going to cut off. Those cravings can't be cut off. Think about this. The cravings cannot be cut off until the body receives those nutrients. Because that's the whole purpose of the dopamine. The dopamine is to cause the body to go towards the salt, sugar, and fat. But for what purpose? To get to the vitamins and the minerals. That's why. Now here's the deal. What's the deal? So the big problem is the food industry knows this. You don't know about it. So then they manipulate your food without your knowledge. And you think it's your fault that you're craving bad things. Your body's craving the exact thing it's supposed to crave. You're just used to getting it. You've been adapted to get it in a package, in a product, at a restaurant. Excuse me, I love those things. You know, I'm gonna eat a sleeve of Oreos. 2 cookies is a serving size. No, I'm eating a sleeve. Shavings flying off the side of my face. Right? Now think about this. But you've got a secret weapon. And that's where food hacking comes in. Because what if you didn't try to avoid the sugar? What if you didn't try to even avoid the fat? What if you didn't even try to avoid the salt, but you only got those things in the package that nature provided? Well, why would that matter? So if God provided a bunch of packages for us to eat that already has the vitamins and minerals in it, then all we have to do is make sure that when we're craving something, we look at the thing we're craving and say, what is that thing I'm craving? Oh, it's a candy bar? Well, I'm probably craving sugar. So what I'm really craving is the vitamins and the minerals in the sugar. So if I eat Skittles, I'll get a dopamine hit and I'll be addicted to it, but I will not be able to stop eating. Why? Because the minerals and vitamins that I need aren't there anymore. So what do? I go find a sweet piece of fruit that also satisfies the same desire. Then when it comes to cooking, you do the same thing. So Vince talked about ranch dressing for a second. So how do you make ranch dressing that's so good? It's simple. You look to see you turn over the back and you see what the first ingredient is. What's the first ingredient? Usually buttermilk or oil. Usually oil. If it's oil, guess what? Oil is 100% fat. Oil. What's a high fat food that's whole food plant-based? Cashews, pine nuts, avocado. You could substitute that ingredient for any recipe on planet Earth as the first ingredient, as that dressing, and it will hit the same centers of the brain, so you will actually eat the carrot rather than it just be taken in front of you over and over and over again. You'll have less calories, you'll lose weight, you'll have more energy, you get all the fiber, you get all the nutrients, you get all the minerals, and then guess what? You go to Google and you go like this, best ranch dressing ever. And you look and you find the one that has 1,000 people that gives it 5-star. And you look at it and you look at the ingredients and you see which ingredients are whole food plant-based. And guess what? All the flavor comes from the seasonings. So then you find where the base is. Well, what's the base? Oh, well, it's oil. Well, the reason why you can't get enough of that honey mustard, the reason why you can't get enough of the dipping sauce that you want is that's Polynesian sauce at Chick-fil-A. Oh my gosh. The reason is the fat, because your body says, oh, you found fat. You'll never find it again. Eat it, eat it, eat it, eat it, eat it. You can do the same thing. All you do is find the ingredients, find a recipe, food hack that. How do you do that? You just have to get a working knowledge. You have to spend enough time with it to get a working knowledge on what type of whole food plant-based are fats, what kind of whole food plant-based are primaries in proteins, and what are in carbohydrates, and where you're going to find those. And then you combine them as substitutions for that other, and the texture and the taste and the look of what you are recreating will be so similar, so close, and it will be more satisfying than the thing you already are in love with than you ever imagined. It'd be more satisfying than that ever is, because that has the nutrients removed. So this way you get both your stretch receptors satisfied, your nutrient receptors, and dopamine all at the same time. When you work with human biology, human psychology, it works with you. You work against it, you lose. Diets will make you lose. Food hack changes your life. All right. Questions, concerns, comments. I was 2 minutes ahead. Woo! Wait, let me say, you did good, Rawlin. You did good. Was that helpful? Anybody? Was that interesting?
It works good, man. It works good. I was yesterday slamming it in the yard. I put in the chat, I was in the yard 3 hours killing it, and came in and just stuffed my face full of watermelon and avocado, ton of water. And I thought, dang, I'm done. I'm almost 60 years old. I can't do that. And then I went back out and did another 3 hours in the yard, and I didn't wake up dead today. I feel great because we're putting in the right fuel and the right energy.
That's right. Look at avocado, fat, watermelon, sugar.
Right. And, it's amazing when you say the packaging it comes in. I did a 15-minute video chopping up a watermelon, talking about this amazing packaging that God put this thing in, so that it can be delivered to me without bumps or bruises, and it's thick so it can handle being on the ground and it doesn't run away. All I have to do is pick it up and eat it. It's amazing how all nature works together, and God did all this for us. And now the food industry is manipulating that to just kill us with all the poison that they're putting out there every day. So thanks for the info, Rawlin.
I love that, Robin. It didn't run away. It's like, watermelon, come back.
It sits on the ground, waits for me to pick it up and eat it. It's the simplest thing in the world, right?
No doubt.
It's full of seeds that will make many more of the same thing.
Many more of the same thing.
Simple. Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. Yes, CC, what's up?
Hey, everybody. I had a question. I had put it in the chat. How do I know you explained how do you get rid of those cravings. However, I need to know how much is a serving size, because I'm gaining weight doing meatless and no nuts. I'm eating a lot of brown rice and beans with steamed vegetables and salad. So I'm actually gaining weight.
You're on mute, Rawlin. But I know what you're asking. You're asking what kind of dressing did you put on the salad? Go ahead.
No, but not the dressing. How many calories?
No, I know that. I'm asking you what kind of dressing you're using.
I'm not using any dressing right now. I'm gaining weight because I'm eating too much beans and rice and vegetables and all that. I'm compulsively overeating because I'm missing something.
Okay. So the only thing most likely it will be a fat. Because if you said if my memory serves me correctly, you are allergic to nuts. Is that correct?
I am.
Yeah, nuts and seeds and avocados. So is it all seeds?
It is. I break up, my lymph nodes start swelling up.
Well, my question was, is flaxseed the same, or what about peanuts? Because I know peanuts are not it's actually a legume. So most people that are allergic to tree nuts are not also allergic to peanuts. One or the other. Is that the same with you?
I'm allergic to tree nuts and peanuts.
Really? Wow. I've never met someone like that. Send me a message privately and I'll send you something. And we'll talk about it easier because this is a longer conversation than the 1 minute I'm already over.
Okay. Thank
All
you.
right. Vince, you want to wrap us up?
I'll be glad to. Thank you so much for that. Well, you guys got the genius of the Rawlin Vanatta today. Hope you enjoyed it. I know I did. I always do. And we will end today's show as I like to end it. And that is, I seriously want you to give some thought to this. Think about this. Think about this. I want you to touch yourself and realize that this is you've got this body. You've got this body. That body that you can touch. That body that you see in the mirror. It's the only body that you get in this lifetime. You've only got one body in this lifetime. If you don't take care of it, where are you going to live? You've only got one body in this lifetime. So eat as though your life depends on it, because it does. My name is Vince Rountree. Thank you for tuning in.
Vince, Rawlin, thank you guys. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Peace out, my friends.
Great job. Bye.
See you later.
Thank you. Glad to hear it, Stacy.